I truly think this simple advice can help you learn more quickly. So let's get into it. This is where you are right now, right? You're doing a skill, you're trying to accomplish a goal, you're trying to get anywhere in your life. The truth is, if you really want to improve and improve quickly while at that, you're going to have to push yourself into uncomfortable situations. Okay? Now, before I get started, that doesn't mean you have to do something crazy. Okay? You just need to be pushing yourself slightly outside of your comfort zone over and over and over, guys. The bar slowly lifts over time when it comes to learning. Okay? So this is where you are now, and everything you want is on the other side. All the skills you want are on the other side. And there's this chokehold in the middle. Okay? This uncomfortable wall, this thing you need to climb over, get through somehow, right? And the reason that people don't want to put themselves in this situation is because it is truly uncomfortable. You're going to feel like an idiot, right? You're going to feel embarrassed. You're going to feel shame. Okay, a lot of learning is overcoming this emotional battle as you move forward in your skill. Okay, obviously there are technical things to learning too, but a huge component of it is putting yourself in these uncomfortable situations and putting yourself in this kind of emotional state, right? And pushing through to get to the other side. So, how do you actually do this? Well, I think understanding why this is so good for learning will help you start to understand that this is the only option. Okay, so it's either stay where you are or start to expose yourself to this. Okay, and why is this so good? Because this is how you build context. Okay, so let's start with context building. Context is very important to learning because if you just sit down with a textbook or you just watch a random video about whatever you're learning and you haven't really engaged in these uncomfortable situations with your skill, you haven't really done your skill yet, you don't have any context for that information. Okay, when we learn, it's when we're exposed to situations that we don't understand. But the fact that we don't understand them is perfect because now we kind of understand. Sorry, I don't want to get my words mixed up here. When we're exposed to situations we don't understand, we're going to notice bits and pieces. We're going to notice, things within that not understanding where you think, what happened there? What went wrong there? What went right there? Okay. And that's perfect because you are building context in those situations. Okay. So these uncomfortable situations are how you build context. And once the context is built in your brain, you can think of that as like a scaffolding for more information, right? You've got this structure built in your brain where you're starting to get bits and pieces, notice things doing your skill, even if it feels uncomfortable. And then because of that, you can go and find information relating to those things. Now, sometimes you're just going to figure them out naturally, right? Sometimes you may want to go and get outside information, but the most important thing is that you expose yourself to these situations and start building context. Okay? And moving into the next point, this is also how our brain learns subconsciously, right? You can't force information into your brain. So by exposing yourself to these uncomfortable situations, although in the moment they're probably going to suck, you're probably going to feel like, wow, I'm terrible at this, I'm embarrassed, I'm feeling shame, whatever, but you're subconsciously still learning. You're subconsciously in the perfect environment to absorb information and improve. Okay? So if you're doing something and you don't feel that it's a little bit outside of what you know, right? If you don't feel that it's a little difficult, a little uncomfortable, then you're not going to grow because you're not going to be creating those new points of context within your brain. Okay? So next up, this wall is also your choke point, okay? The limit of your knowledge is what I'll call it. So you're going to be doing your skill, trying to play something on guitar, okay? Trying to understand a YouTube video in a language you're trying to learn, or trying to learn a piano song, or trying to shoot a basketball better. And you're going to notice the limits of your knowledge. You're going to think, I was doing well up until this point, but now there's this one thing that I've noticed now, and I'm starting to build context for, that is the limit of what I know. Okay, and the only way you're going to find those things is again by engaging in these uncomfortable situations. And once you understand the limits of your knowledge and the context, then information is very easy to absorb. Okay, let me say that again. Once you understand the context and the limits of your knowledge, the choke point of what you already know to the next level, okay, that information is going to be very easy to absorb because it's going to directly impact everything you do. You understand why you need this information, and then you're going to understand how to use it. But you're never going to understand what those things are until you actually engage in this situation. Okay? So whether you're moving forward in a skill or in your life, just challenging yourself to do something that seems uncomfortable. Okay, don't do anything crazy, guys. I don't want you to get injured or anything like that, but engaging with things that are uncomfortable are going to expand your mental framework, expand that scaffolding in your mind, and allow more better information to come in. Okay? And once you do that, you're going to just start naturally upgrading your skills. Okay? Now there is 2 points to this, and this is why I put subconscious training, because a lot of doing your skill is just engaging with the skill. Just doing the skill will improve you slowly over time. Okay? Your subconscious mind is going to pick up on things and start improving things. But if you want to improve even faster, going and researching information on those limits of your knowledge, on those choke points, will help you improve even faster. And the people who do both, the analyzation after they've engaged with the uncomfortable situation and also consistently putting themselves in these situations, the people that do both are going to learn much faster. Okay, so if you can do both of those things, then you're going to learn very quickly. You're going to gain a lot of information and a lot of skill very quickly. Now, when I say very quickly, it's still going to take time. Okay, it's not going to happen in a day, a week. It's going to take months and years to slowly build up over time. When you're learning skills, I want you to remember things are built up slowly over time by consistently engaging with this kind of situation. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. I might even make a video specifically for you guys. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.